The biosphere, association between different species. In a previous video, we introduced the relations or interactions between organisms that take place in nature. We saw that these relationships can happen between members of the same species or from different ones. And we also had a look at families, colonies, and societies. Today, we are going to focus on relationships between members of different species. As we also said in the previous video, relationships of association are established to ensure the survival of a species. If we keep this in mind, we can find the following relationships between members of different species. Competition. This type of relationship is established by two living beings that compete for the same resource, whether it is a prey, a space to get shelter or to get natural resources, like it would be a small pond to get water in the savanna, or even for the light, in the case of plants. Another relationship, more specifically related to feed themselves, is predation. In this relationship, one organism, the predator, kills and eats another organism, which would be its prey. And finally, we have symbiotic relationships. Symbiosis are relationships established between individuals of different species that live very close together, in such a way as they are practically inseparable. Depending on the target of these relations, we can differentiate different types of symbiotic interactions. The first one we are going to talk about is mutualism. Mutualism is a kind of relationship between individuals of different species where both get a benefit. For example, flowers and bees have a mutualistic relationship. Bees get the nectar they need to make honey by traveling among flowers. When the bee brings pollen from one plant to another, then we get pollination. The bee is benefiting because it gets its food, and the plants benefit from being pollinated and to ensure the survival of the species. Then we are going to talk about commensalism. This is a relationship where one species benefits and the other does not benefit but is not damaged. An example are birds that build their nests on trees. The birds get shelter and protection for their chicks on the branches of the trees. These trees don't get anything in exchange, but they do not get damaged in the process. Finally, we are going to talk about parasitism, which is a relationship where one species is damaged and the other benefits. For example, we have fleas, which bite animals like dogs to obtain their blood and to feed themselves, while the animal they parasite gets hurt or even can get a disease. In my next video, we will be learning more about the feeding relationships between living beings.